Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for being here. Today, I'm taking you through my mindful morning routine. I start by getting dressed and making my bed, and then I grab my water and I try to drink about half a water bottle full if I'm able to, and then I hop into my skincare routine. Okay, now I'm going to wash my face. This is one of the first things that I do in the morning. Gotta get my hair out of the way first. I've been doing these little claw clips, little twists. Whenever I do my skincare routine, I don't have my hair in a bun that holds my bangs. I always pull them back so I don't have hair in my face. So yeah, I'm looking a little bit crazy, but I'm gonna start by washing my hands even though I just was sleeping, and then I'm going to do my face wash. Before I do, I just want to kind of note, this is one of the self-care things that I do in the morning, and you're probably like, well, you're just washing your face. Everyone does that. But I try to kind of like indulge in it, be present with myself, really pay attention to how I'm washing my face, what products I'm using, and just like focusing on my breath and breathing and telling myself nice things in the mirror, whether it's in my head or out loud. And that sounds kind of silly, but I really believe that if you're doing your skincare routine, you should be taking true care of your skin and yourself, and it shouldn't be something like a chore. I genuinely love doing my skincare routine, so I'm going to show you what I do in the mornings. Right now my skin is extremely dry because it is so cold and bitter wind outside. That's one thing about Cleveland. We get some of the most bitter winters. Even when it's not freezing, the weather just gets so incredibly dry and windy. So I'm not doing anything too crazy to my skin, but I will show you what products I'm using. I really haven't changed. I've been using the same products for like almost 3 years now, 2 years, and I absolutely love them. I swear by them. So I will show you what it is we are getting into. So my hands are washed. I'm going to take my ZO Skin Health Gentle Skin Cleanser. Here we go. This bottle is huge. It lasts me like 3 to 5 months depending. Also, I live in a super old building, so you guys, like my old bathroom, I love this green tile and this super creaky old little mirror. I think it's so cute. I don't really ever film in my bathroom because I don't think it's the most aesthetic. This is kind of a jumbled mess of all my products, but regardless, I do love this bathroom. I think it's super cute. So also I have to show you this. Sink has 2 nozzles. So this is cold water and this is hot water, which is so fun because the hot water gets so hot so quick, and then my hand is like burning. Step 1 is cleanse the skin. I wash my face for like at least 25 seconds. So I always try to be really gentle when I'm drying my face. I used to like pull and just destroy my skin and give my future self wrinkles. So I'm always just trying to like pat all of my skin dry. And then what I'm going to be using next is just kind of like a spot treatment little thing that I've been doing because I have been having some breakouts on my chin, which leads me to believe that they're hormonal because they're all in the same place. And typically acne on my chin is hormonal. And then I'm also getting one up here on my forehead. So I'm taking this ZO Skin Health. Here is what it looks like, and it is a 10% benzoyl peroxide, so you don't really need much at all. This is all I'm going to be using. I just kind of let them sit there for a second or two. So kind of like this. I know I look hilarious. It's just real life me. What are you gonna do about it? Rub those in. It does tingle a little bit. It doesn't hurt, but it definitely gives you a bit of a sensation. This just really helps dry out these areas that may have some excess oil. It's hard to tell in the winter though because I am so dry. Sometimes I think maybe getting acne from dry skin. Regardless, while I let those dry, I'm gonna show you guys what I use as my sunscreen. So I'm using the Elta MD Tinted 46 SPF. I literally love this stuff. I wish the bottles were bigger because I go through them pretty quickly, but I really love this stuff. It does come out tinted, but it doesn't leave like super dark. It's not like changing the color of my skin or anything like that. I just find the white one gives me a white cast. So this is essential in my everyday. I do a full pump. It looks like this. And like a stickler for sunscreen, I used to lay outside and bake in the sun as a kid. I don't know why my mom didn't stop me because skin cancer runs in our family, but like that's a hard thing to tell a 13-year-old girl who just wants to go out with her friends and be tan. But I'm like a spaz about my sunscreen now. I put it on every single day, even if I'm not going outside, even if it is super cloudy and overcast. And you always want to like apply your products upwards. Isn't something that I'm the best at, but what helps reduce the potential of wrinkles in the future, bring it down on my neck, whatever I have left. And then because I am so dry, I have been putting on additional moisturizer in my drier areas. So I actually have a dry spot on my neck, which I didn't even realize, but that definitely needs a little bit of moisturizer. And then my cheeks are super dry and the underside of my chin. So we're going to do a bit of moisturizing there. Oh, I'll tell you, man, dry skin, oily skin sucks, but dry skin hurts. And like, I really do, I don't have combo skin. My skin just gets oily in the summer and dry in the winter, as most do, but dang, it hurts and it is not fun. So I digress. But I'm going to brush my teeth, and I'm not gonna leave this sound on because that's kind of gross, but I use an anti-plaque toothpaste. I got this at Trader Joe's and I like it because it doesn't have any fluoride in it. Fun fact, our bodies don't need fluoride and they just calcify. Fluoride literally just calcifies in our body, which is not good. So I don't need fluoride. I have a water dispenser that filters it out as well. Okay, and then the very last step in my morning routine, I actually have to wash my bangs every day, otherwise they get really greasy, and they're not too bad right now, like when I wake up in the morning, but come 3 o'clock, they are like a greasy mess. So I wash my bangs. I'm not gonna show you because it's kind of a messy process and I look like a dummy, but I use the Olaplex number 4. I use every single product from Olaplex for my hair care, not every day, obviously, but I swear by this stuff. This bottle is literally the size of my hand. I got one in May of 2020 and I didn't need a new one until my mom got me new ones for Christmas. You need like literally this much to wash your whole head. I also use the conditioner. I'm obviously not going to be using that to wash my bangs, just the shampoo. I use a very, very tiny bit and I blow dry them, and that is like the last little step of my morning self-care routine in terms of like getting myself ready for the day. So I'm going to do this and then I will be back to show you what we do next in our little mindful morning routine. So my hair is done. I have blow dry brushed my bangs and now I'm getting ready to meditate. So I like to come and sit out in my living room. I've got my iPad out here, which is how I do my guided meditations. You can do it on your phone as well, but typically I set up a time lapse so I can post on Instagram for my Gymshark 66. That commitment for me was some form of a morning routine and 10 minutes of meditation every day. So here is my iPad screen and we are going to click on the Insight Timer app that looks like this. I used the free version. You can pay for it, but the free version has over 70,000 meditations. I always go to guided meditations, and then if there's something specific, I will search it up, but I'm going to click on this one, and I've really, really been enjoying this one. It's called Morning Ritual. It's a 10-minute practice. So this is what I'm going to be doing this morning. You just click on it, pops up like this, and play. So I'm going to set my camera up so you guys can see kind of how I situate myself for meditation. I really, really enjoy meditation because it doesn't always feel the best in the moment. There are days when I'm less focused than others and can't really concentrate on my breath and my mind is all over the place, but it allows me to be less reactive, take a moment to pause, and just be a little bit more insightful throughout my day. And it's a really, really good morning practice. I have not gotten on my phone yet to scroll on anything. The only thing I have done is hold up my notes for what I want to cover in this video. It's 9:17. I've been up since about 8:30 and I don't like scroll on my phone or do any social media for at least the first hour of my day, but I find that this has probably been the biggest game changer in terms of my mornings and how I feel the rest of the day, really. Typically, I would turn my alarm clock off and open Instagram immediately, check my messages, scroll and see what other people are doing, and then I do that the same thing on Snapchat, Twitter, my emails, TikTok. I'd go on Facebook, and in the first 30 minutes of my day, I have already given away so much of my energy to other people, concerning myself with what they are doing and not really focusing on myself. Energy is currency, guys. Like, think about it like money. We all have our own energy. We all have our own energy field, and if you are just giving it out willy-nilly, you're gonna go broke, just like your money. If you're just giving money out to every single person that you come in contact with, you're gonna go broke. You have to be really mindful about how you're spending your time and your energy, and I know that that's like a really cliche and like overstated thing, morning, but it makes the world of difference. Even if you can keep your eyes and your brain away from your phone for the first 15 minutes of your day, if an hour sounds like a lot and you're like, this girl's crazy, I need my social media, that's fine. But try 15 minutes in the morning. Instead of picking up your phone and scrolling, make your bed and do some stretches or do a skincare routine and have your own thoughts before someone else tells you how to think, or you start having thoughts based on seeing someone else's content. I think it's a really, really important practice that a lot of us can implement, and it seriously changes the course of my whole day, because I'm not perfect and some days I do sit in bed and scroll on my phone first thing in the morning, and it really just makes me feel super chaotic, very scatterbrained, very overwhelmed, and like almost in a rush the rest of the day, because I've joined the rat race before taking time for myself to collect my own thoughts and feelings for the day. And I think it's a really important practice to check in with yourself before you check in with other people. That's a big part of my morning routine, is not being on my phone, so you will not see me on my phone in this video, and if you do, it's because I'm checking off what I want to talk about in this video, because I made like a little list of all of my mindful morning habits that I want to include in this video. So that's just my little ramble there. I really highly encourage you to try it. If you don't do it already, just try. It might not be the most enjoyable or fun thing or easy thing, because it is such a habit for everyone, or for most people, to get on their phones first thing in the morning, but not doing that has seriously changed my life, and it's a habit I'm still working to build. But every day that I do it, I just feel so much better the entire rest of the day, not only in the morning but throughout my whole day. So I really recommend trying that out, and I'm not gonna ramble anymore. I'm going to get into my little meditation. So when I meditate, I like to sit up on a blanket. It's just a yoga blanket. I got it from some yoga supply website a while ago, and then I just fold it up. It is a regular blanket, and I sit on it like so. The reason I sit on a blanket is so that my hips are higher than my knees. It's truthfully just more comfortable, and I tuck my leg either up into my hip crease if I'm feeling flexible enough that day, like so, or I just put it in the crease of my knee and my leg. So I like to sit like this. You can meditate literally any way that you want. There's no right or wrong way. I used to do it laying in my bed first thing in the morning, or laying on the couch. Now I just prefer to sit up, because it helps me be a little bit more mindful about like the position of my spine and keeping my head high. And honestly, just laying down usually led me to fall asleep, which isn't a bad thing, but first thing in the morning I don't need to go back to bed. So I really enjoy sitting out here on my living room floor, hips above knees, and let's do this thing. Okay, now that we have done our meditation, it is time for my most favorite part of my morning routine, and that is my matcha. So yeah, my routine has changed a little bit since I posted that on Instagram a few months ago. So I'm going to show you my updated routine. Super quick and easy. All you're going to need is some hot water, some plant-based milk. I use oat milk with a little bit of agave in it. Matcha, obviously. I'll show you the kind I use. It's from Hustle's matcha bar, which I absolutely love. It's the most affordable and best tasting matcha I've tried thus far, and a mug. So let's get started. Okay, so now that I've got my matcha latte made, I'm going to sit here and drink it while I read my book that I am almost finished with. Well, maybe not almost finished. I'm more than halfway done. It is The Seat of the Soul, but I want to quickly talk to you guys about the benefits of matcha and why I drink matcha as opposed to coffee as my caffeinated drink in the morning, and there are tons of reasons why. The main few that have really helped me and really solidified my switch to matcha, one being that it doesn't really suppress my appetite. So in the past, I would drink 1 cup of coffee at like 9:30, 9:40 almost, and I wouldn't eat until like 2 p.m. because I was just full from the coffee. And as great as that sounds, and like fasting and whatever, I know that's such a trendy thing to do, but it really just wasn't healthy for me. I wasn't eating enough in the day. I was not having sustained energy levels, anything like that. Also, I don't find that matcha gives me a crash. crash like coffee does, which is so lovely and has been wonderful for me. Another reason that I like to drink matcha is because it's just a less processed substance to be drinking in the morning as opposed to ground coffee. There's a lot of additives depending on where you get it if you don't grind your own coffee beans, and that was just kind of a big thing for me. Plus I just like it. It makes me feel good. It's a different taste than coffee for sure. If you've never had matcha, it's a very like earthy taste, but I find with oat milk and some sort of sweetener, agave is my personal choice. It's delicious. I absolutely love it. And I also really like it because it gives me kind of like a little morning ritual to do. Even if I'm feeling horrible and I don't want to meditate or wash my face or do any of the morning routine things that I typically do, making matcha is kind of a non-negotiable, and it's almost like a meditative experience for me because I have to do everything in the right step, and there are not just like pressing a button on your Keurig. It's kind of like a fun hands-on thing for me to do in the morning. So I absolutely love my matchas, and when I drink my matcha, I read my like current self-development book. Like I said, is The Seat of the Soul. If you guys want to hear more about this, I do talk about it in my Books That Changed My Life video. Absolutely wonderful. I love this book. I cannot recommend it enough. Probably going to read it again. The other thing I wanted to mention that I didn't do in that part of the video because I didn't want it to get copyrighted, but I do listen to my like little, it's called Mind Your Vibes playlist in the morning that just kind of like elevates my mood, puts me in a really good headspace. I talked about this artist in one of my previous videos, my Obsessions video, but his name is Londrell, and his music is just so uplifting and positive, and I really enjoy it. So I like to listen to him in the morning. He's on that playlist a lot, and just some like really good feel-good songs. I will link that Spotify playlist down below. The last thing that I want to mention, you're gonna see me sitting here reading in a minute, but something that I've been doing specifically with my self-development books is reading out loud to myself. So I live alone and I don't do a lot of talking during the day unless I have phone calls or like I call my parents. So sometimes I'm just sitting in silence a lot, which is kind of boring, and I've found really just brings my vibes down a little bit. And so I find that when I'm reading silently, sometimes I just skim the pages and I'm not getting every word and every little detail of the book, which I don't think is the most beneficial way to read. So I found that reading out loud to myself has been so helpful in just like digesting the information and really grasping the concepts of books like this. So next time you read a book, try reading out loud to yourself and see if you like it. I've really been enjoying it, and it kind of makes me feel like a dork at first, but hearing my own voice I think is a really healthy habit to get into, and I've been reading out loud. So that is the end of my morning routine. It takes me about an hour to an hour and a half depending on how slow moving I am that day and how much reading I have to do. But I just want to talk about a couple things, and first being why it's so important to have a morning routine. And by no means does your morning routine have to be an hour long or more than one step, but just doing one thing for yourself in the morning, even if it's just lying in bed for 5 minutes before you pick up your phone like I was talking about earlier, can be the most life-changing thing in your day-to-day life, because I think life-changing things don't come in one moment and then leave us. They are the little daily habits that we have, and how we choose to live our life day to day is more important than those big giant life changes, if that makes sense. I just really think having some sort of morning routine or morning ritual is one of the most beneficial things that you can do for yourself. It is literally setting the tone for the rest of your day. It's a form of self-development, and it's a time for you to really connect with yourself before you go out and connect with the world. It's not something that our culture really like encourages us to do, so I hope that this video can encourage you to find a little bit of time in your morning, even if that means waking up 15 minutes earlier, to do a little bit of stretching. By no means is my morning routine perfect, but it does work for me. I spent a lot of time trying to do other people's morning routines. I tried to journal and stretch and do all these different things, and sometimes that feels good, but on the day-to-day it just doesn't serve me the way that it serves other people, and I think that's really okay. That's been a huge learning process for me, because I always would try to do other people's morning routines or what other people were sharing as part of their routines, and it always left me feeling so drained, and like it wasn't as enjoyable for me. Like the things that I do in my morning routine are truly enjoyable for me, and it's taken me a while to figure out what works and what doesn't, but it's been such a beautiful process, and I know that my morning routine is going to change over time, and I also think that's such a beautiful thing that we have the option to change and grow depending on what we need in that stage of our lives. So a couple other ideas for morning routines as I'm on this topic. If nothing that I really did resonated with you, some other ideas are stretching, journaling, going for a walk outside, putting on your favorite music and dancing around a little bit, saying affirmations to yourself in the mirror, which is typically what I do when I wash my face in the morning. Like I talked about, sometimes it's just silent in my head, sometimes I speak them out. Cleaning up your space, making your bed, making breakfast, whatever makes you feel good in the morning and sets you up for a positive positive mindset the rest of the day is perfect. It's not going to look like anyone else's morning routine, and I think that's such a beautiful, unique thing that we can all experience and have in our day-to-day lives. So I hope that this video sparked some inspo for you to start your own morning routine journey, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.